Oh man, this is scary. This is really terrifying. I wish I would have listened to the preppers, the YouTube preppers. Jeez, this is just terrifying. Yeah, they predicted this. They've been predicting it for months, that if the candidate that won the presidential election, if he won, there would be riots in the streets. And I mean, it's everywhere. The state of Missouri is burning. It's just, oh man, they're coming up the street right now. Look at that. That is terrible. Look at over here. They've already burned down this building. That building over there is up in smokes. The fire department can't get here because of the rioting that's going on. This is terrifying. I mean, I almost feel like a news reporter. I'm trying to stay in my little tiny house, trying to keep everybody out. You know, the gunfire is just everywhere. Oh, I don't even know what to think here. We're not going to survive this. If you voted for that guy, you just well kiss your hindsight goodbye, because it's over. We're not going to be able to survive this. The preppers were right. It's been a long time since I did anything like this, just be sarcastic. And you know, since I did the lawnmower stuff, I've kind of gotten away from this, but I just can't help it sometimes to point out the ridiculousness of preppers. They are always prepping and preparing and fear-mongering for the absolute worst. And it just never turns out that way. I mean, I get it, yes, Oregon and Minnesota, heck, even St. Louis, they've rioted in the past. I get it. But I don't understand the viewers. I guess that's where I'm so confused. Is they continuously find, the preppers continuously find something to scare you about. Continuously. And they continuously are wrong. I've been covering preppers for 4 years now. And they're continuously wrong. I've not seen them be right on anything. This is going to happen. I mean, we're supposed to be out of electric. I'm not sure if you all remember that when the president that we currently have sitting right now got in office, the grid was supposed to go down. These transformers that are in the electric grid, we weren't making anymore. And it was going to take like 7 years per transformer. And they're all going to be, this is what they said. I had people coming to my channel saying, when are you going to cover this? When are you going to talk about it? And I would talk about it. And the thing is as soon as I would talk about it, my community would go to the prepper channel saying, hey, he's talking bad about you because you covered this. He's such an idiot. He needs to wake up. The grid is going to go down. And so that YouTuber would make fun of me that I was not taking things seriously enough. But okay, that's fine. When is it going to happen? I mean, I thought it was going to be like the next week. Now, I do admit, I do live on solar panels, so I'm not really sure if it happened or not. But I do know that if I go to the gas station, I can still get gas. I don't feel like they're running on generators. So, you know, it didn't happen, even though I was ridiculed that I wasn't taking it seriously enough. I'm not saying this stuff can't happen, but I also don't think that you should live in constant fear like these guys. I mean, this one prepper tells his audience all the time how he can't sleep at night anymore. He has so much anxiety about the world that it's all going to just fall apart again around us. And it might. Great. Perhaps you should teach us how to prep instead of teaching us how to be afraid. The only reason I am successful living off grid is because I am not preparing for anything. If we lose electric, okay, now what? You know, it really isn't a big deal to me. And so I try to teach how to live happy and self-sustaining and not afraid. There's no reason to be afraid. What is there to be afraid of? If it were to happen, if rioters were to come down this road right now, you just deal with it. I've said in the past, my dad is probably the best prepper in the world. Better than me. I'm not a prepper, but better better prepared than I ever will be. I mean, he lives down in Florida, you know, he deals with the hurricanes and everything, but he just relies on his knowledge. He's like MacGyver. If something goes wrong, he just figures out, oh, well, I guess I need electric. What am I going to do here? And they come up with electric. It's just not that serious to him. I've told him for years he needs to get a propane generator, because propane doesn't go bad in the canister. Somebody's going to say, yeah, it does in 30 years. No, the propane doesn't go bad. The canister goes bad. So that's off the mark. Again, you know, preppers. Oh, I know everything. Propane does go bad. Don't be talking to me like that. No, propane doesn't go bad. So, but he just deals with the situation as it comes. He doesn't get afraid. And I think that's what makes preppers so bad at prepping, is they're preparing for fear. They're not preparing for anything else. If you're not afraid, you can think, I gotta have 10 years worth of food. Okay, great, 10 years worth of food, that's great. What if it lasts longer? 20 years. You know, Great Depression. Can you really handle a Great Depression? Oh yeah, I can handle a Great Depression. I got a garden. Okay, there are a lot of vegans out there starving to death. A YouTube vegan. She was a vegan on YouTube, very strict to it. Died of starvation. She was eating a lot and died. So you just plant your garden. Now I know that I have 1.5 acres here. Half of it is in trees. But if I bulldoze all this down and I tried to garden this whole property, I wouldn't have enough food. So you're not going to be able to survive. You know, I can can food. Well, what are you going to can? Well, I'll hunt. That's all I'll do. I'll hunt. Okay? Along with every other American. The last depression, I believe the deer population dropped down to almost extinction levels, if I understood that correctly. I could be wrong. I'm not quoting any scientific facts here. So, where are you going to get your food if everybody else is hunting? They're just not thinking things through. You know, one prepper, I'm not going to raise chickens. Well, you know, if something happens, then I can incubate them and that kind of stuff. Well, okay, so you're going to incubate chickens. Do you have an incubator? Do you know how to incubate? Do you know how difficult it is to incubate? I mean, I know you can buy eggs. I get it, fertilized eggs, which is probably what we would do if something serious happened. I mean, our chickens are sick and they're dying, so, but that's another thing. What happens if your chickens die? So you're just constantly preparing. And here's the thing I think I struggle with. You spend all your money preparing for the worst when you could be spending your money on things that make you happy, not make you afraid, but make you happy. I mean, I'm fine with you buying a generator and, you know, maybe a couple, 6 months worth of food, or having 6 months worth of firewood. You know, these little basic things, not, you know, out of the mark, you know, out of the ballpark kind of stuff, just a little bit, you know, 6 months worth of money. You gotta have gold. Well, who's gonna trade your gold? Nobody's gonna trade gold. They don't care about your gold. What they care about is food, maybe some ammunition. You know, if you gave me gold, I'd probably make ammunition out of it, because ammunition would be more valuable, wouldn't it? What are you gonna buy? Nobody. I'm not. If you come over here and say I'll buy your firewood with this gold, I'm gonna say no, I'm not interested. Well, I got all this gold. I can't even carry it. The truck won't haul it. Sorry. I don't need that much ammunition. What I need is some food. You got any food? So, no, gold isn't going to be worth anything. The other thing preppers always talk about is the value of gold. Gold, the market just went up in value. No, it didn't. The dollar became less valuable. I'm just going to use this as an example. I've talked about it a million times. If I have a piece of gold back in 1920, and I could buy bread, let's say I bought a truckload's worth of bread, one piece of gold, bought a truckload's worth of bread, and today I take that same piece of gold, exact same gold, I could buy a truckload's worth of gold. Although the value of gold, let's say it was 20 bucks back in 1920, I don't know how much it was, and it's 2,000 bucks today, the value of the gold hasn't changed. The value of the dollar has. What happened was, this is inflation. The inflation rate of gold went up. So the dollar value dropped, meaning that you had to have more dollars. So that's a great investment. Gold prices always go up. No, gold prices don't go up. They don't go down, they don't go up. So it's all to fear. And these guys get so many views. You know, I teach you how to put your solar panels together, teach you how to can. You know, I've seen preppers can. They don't actually teach you how to can, they just show you they are canning. I show you how to can. I got canning videos, go to my playlist on my channel. You know, now I'm doing lawnmowers. You know, I'm telling you, okay, my revenue source has dwindled. My YouTube revenue source dwindled. And so I found an alternative to my revenue source, and I'm repairing lawnmowers. Isn't that being prepared? I have a knowledge to do something that I can still make money with. I don't understand why people buy into this. The world was supposed to just crumble around us with this sitting president. And don't get me wrong, I know that things are tough. Inflation's up, food prices are up. But I suspect, even though people are struggling more, I suspect people still have their TVs, you know, their big screens. I would imagine most people have a car. Not everybody, I mean, I know. But if they didn't have a car now, they probably didn't have a car before. But they still have their cell phone. We're the richest nation in the world, always crying broke. Well, if you're really broke, why are you on the internet? That is like the last thing you need. You don't have to have internet. You don't have to have cable TV. I mean, you know, I pay, I think $60 for my phone, $50. So Carolyn has a phone, I have a phone, so it's $100. That's the biggest bill we have. So, but I also upload YouTube videos so I can write some of that off. I actually have a formula that I can write it off with. I know how big my video size is, how many I post, all that stuff. So I can write that off, so you know, not everything is being charged right out of my pocket. But you're on the internet complaining about how broke you are, watching YouTube videos of guys trying to scare you to death that you're going to be more broke, instead of trying to resolve your issues. Start repairing lawnmowers. Start crocheting like Carolyn does. Do something. Make a hobby into a profession. I'll do a YouTube video. Well, that's a bad idea. You know, most YouTubers quit after their first or second YouTube video because they all think the same thing. Oh, this is easy. I can make a video and post it. And the only thing you see is them, you know, so it's not even been rehearsed or scripted or thought about. My first video was a pop-up camper and it was raining inside. We went out and recorded it. It was terrible. It doesn't get any views. So you got to stick with it. It takes a long time to build a channel. But you can. Look, if you know how to repair lawnmowers or do something like that, you know, dig ditches or cut grass, underbid everybody. Stop talking about how my time's more valuable than that. As a matter of fact, I made a video like that yesterday. I'll put it up next box to it at the end of this video. If you're not making any money and you're worried about the future, find something that people need and do it cheap. You can make some money at it. The America is just, lost track of itself. My grandparents went through the Depression as children. And to me, there were some valuable lessons that they taught us. But it seems to me that most people are so spoiled, they can't even fathom the idea. So they just run around afraid, watching these guys. Look at the riots in the streets. Look, don't be afraid. Take action, do something. Don't spend a lot of money doing it. Learn a trade, learn a skill, do a hobby, and you'll make it. So if I can inspire you, stop being afraid. So you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.